Hey, what's up, family? Grand Rising. This is Chief KALINAGO. Man, listen, I'm at it bright and early. Man, listen, I got whew, I'm not even gonna talk about it like that, but let me just make sure that I am actually I know I'm live, but I just want to check the sound. I just opened up another screen, and here we go. Let me make sure everything is good. All right, let me make sure everything is good. I know I'm live, but I just want to check this is full, beautiful live. Let me make sure the chat room is up and going. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, family? What's up? What's up? All right, here we go. So I'm live. Let me know who's in the chat. All right, family, I'm just so excited, man. I'm so excited. Listen, I got some powerful information for you guys. All right, powerful information. I went to bed last night, but before I went to bed, right, I did some meditation, and I'm asking the ancestors once again. And family, I don't want you to take this as any disrespect. This is coming from a place of love. All right. First up, let me just say Grand Rising. All right, it's a beautiful day in New York, and once again, I'm coming to you with the truth, nothing but the truth. All right, I know the truth is gonna hurt. I know the truth is not popular, but I'm coming to you and I'm giving it to you as hard as I can. Now check this out. Hey, peace, Israel. What's up, brother? What's up? Check this out. Once again, I don't mean any disrespect. With this information I'm about to give right now, I know some of it may rob some people the wrong way, but I just want to say first offhand, I don't intend any disrespect. I'm just telling the true history of the American Aborigines. And my disclaimer is, I am not soliciting the citizens of the United States of America. I am addressing and talking to my brothers and sisters, the indigenous peoples, the American Aborigines, those who were there before the conquest, before 1492. Okay, so those are the people I'm talking to. All right. So with that being said, family, videos are strictly for the awakening of the masses, bringing you back home. This is our home. This is your home. And what they're trying to do is take you away from your home, but I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let it happen. I know they come after us for telling the truth. They perish those who are telling the truth. They kill those who are telling the truth. But you know what? So be it. You're looking at a brother right here that's not afraid of death. So I manifest life because there's only life. All right. And I'm going to continue to tell the truth. And I'm going to put some people on blast today. So this is going to be a good one, but I'm going to drop some information. All right. Peace and love. Let's get into this. I got some notes, and just give me a second while I decipher through my notes. Let me take my time because I was all over the place. I was just so excited. I went to bed last night. Before I went to bed, I meditated. I asked the ancestors, listen, I need some information. I need more information to bring to my people because our people are a stiff-necked people. Okay, they don't believe, and they need more information. And even if they get the information, because of what they were taught, it's going to be hard for them to wake up from that, or a little more difficult. I'm not going to say hard. All right, because I believe our people are waking up, and because you're waking up, is the reason why you look at the videos, because you are searching, you are seeking. And I so much appreciate you for that. So regardless of what people do, whether they hid the information, it doesn't change. It's a fact. All right. And I'm proving everything that I'm saying. All right. So let's talk about, first off, let me just give credit to the brother that has a YouTube channel called The Indigenous One. All right. Like I said, I woke up, I did some meditation on the ancestors, sort of like I just, put in something in a search. And that was the first thing that came up. So my ancestors led me to that. So give thanks to them and the great spirit that they served, or they worship rather. But Indigenous One, thank you for the interview. He interviewed a brother called William Bell. He's an ex-Moor who was dropping a lot of information. So in this video, I'm going to touch on Moors. I'm going to touch on various ethnic groups or cultures or organizations that came into the Americas. So for a lot of people, if you sort of like fall under that classification, I don't mean any disrespect. All right. I am just here to tell the history and tell the truth. So let's get into this. Moor. The Moor, okay, Moor, M-O-R, Moors, Some people say M-U-U-R. Okay, either way, is that they're referring to the same thing. Now you have Moor. Some people may call it a religion. Some people may call it a race. Okay, but originally the word Moor, all right, well, not originally, but the word Moor, okay, in a sense, because you have a lot of Moors saying that everybody is a Moor, that's heavy melanated is a Moor, or dark skin, or what they call black is a Moor. Again, you have to look at the wordplay. Look at the wordplay, the wordplay. Look at the root of the word Moor. I always tell people, look at the etymology of the word. So you have to look at the etymology of the word Moor. So this is the first thing that I'm going to do. I also put that in the description below. All right. Look at the etymology of the word Moor. We're not looking at the verb. We're looking at the noun. Okay. The first one, it says waste ground. Okay. Moorland, basically waste ground, dead land. So that was attested to the word Moor. Now let us go look at the next noun. It is saying North American Berber, late 14th century, from Old French Moor, M-O-R-E, from medieval Latin Moros, from Latin Moros, inhabitant of Mauritania, Northwest Africa, and region now corresponding to northern Algeria and Morocco. Now, I'm going to emphasize on that a little bit. It is telling you that Moors, they are from and they are synonymous and they are the natives of, they are North African Berbers. That's what the word Moor was attested to, okay? From the Mauritania, inhabitants of Mauritania, Northwest Africa, a region now corresponding to northern Algeria and Morocco. So once again, I'm going to emphasize and reiterate that America, the American continent, was never Morocco. It has never been Morocco, and it will never be Morocco. So when you speak of Moors in the sense of inhabitants, or in the sense of native, or in the sense of a people, they are not indigenous to the Americas. They are indigenous to Africa, specifically North African, the Mauritanian area, Northwest Africa region now corresponding to northern Algeria and Morocco. It is telling you that in the etymology. However, perhaps a native name or else cognate with moros, which means black, but this is an adjective, only appears in late Greek, may as well be from the people's name as the reverse, being a dark people in relation to Europeans. Their name is Middle Ages was synonymous with Negro. So what they're telling you is this. So they took that, seeing that the Moors, okay, and I'm talking about the bloodline Moors, who are actually from Northern Africa, okay, Algeria, Morocco, those places, they look like us. They have the same hue and complexion as us. Okay, so they use that word to mean black, or to categorize, okay, make a general statement calling everybody they run into black. So in that sense, when you hear these Moors talking about, oh, everybody in America, we are Moors, the whole world is Moors. If they're talking about in the sense of a color or in the sense of a hue, then technically, based on what the Europeans termed the word Moor, they are right. So you see, you have to look at the wordplay, family. You have to look at the wordplay. However, if it's talking about inhabitants, like the people, the flesh and blood people, everybody in the world is not a Moor. Moors are only synonymous and only native to North Africa, predominantly the Mauritania area, Algeria, and what you called Morocco. So we have to get that clear right off the back. So stop telling our people, our indigenous people in the Americas, that everybody is a Moor. That's a lie. Okay? It is a lie. It is the same way that everybody here, as long as you're of a darker hue, they call you black. Okay? Not every so-called black person is indigenous to the Americas. So we have to make the distinction, because you see, this is about, my job is to separate the wheat from the shaft. Okay? You have a whole basket filled with eggs. You feel me? And my job right now is to take out the eggs, okay, that don't belong. Or let me rephrase that. I don't want to discriminate. That's not indigenous to the Americas. So that we could know who the indigenous people are, so we could know how to maneuver and deal with each other without the confusion. Because that's what's causing all the confusion. You have all these people in this conscious community, all these different organizations telling you everybody's a Moor. Everybody's not a Moor. If you mean Moor in terms of hue and color, meaning black, you see what I'm saying? Then that's what they're applying to. And again, at the same time, nobody's black. So that has no credence, period. Okay, in terms of hue or color in the American continent, we are not black. And I've showed you millions of videos proving to you that you're not black. All right, so I shut down that whole Moor thing right off the bat, but I got some more information for y'all. All right, here we go. Okay, so we have Chief. Your Chief, can we get a rich Spanish-speaking brother Moor? Let me see. We got to reach Spanish. Oh, of course. I mean, family. I mean, it goes without saying. I always say that, you know, that the whole Caribbean, South and Central America, that's indigenous to the Americas, and that includes the so-called Spanish people. So there's no discrimination here at all. Absolutely. Like I always say, Mexicans are all brothers. You know what I mean? So that goes without saying, brother, but you're definitely right. I appreciate that. All right. So now that I have, you know, distinguished between the Moor as a native people and Moor meaning a color, meaning black or attested to Negroes, then let me proceed with this presentation. All right. Like I told you before, the Moors came from Morocco. Now, the Moors, how did the Moors became popular? You have to realize the makeup of the Moors. The Moors were travelers. Okay, they were enslavers. So what they did was they went into Spain, okay, and they overtook Spain, okay, and then they ruled Spain for, I think, over 700 or 800 years in 711 AD. So that's how the Moors became popular. They literally taught Spain, okay, well, when I say Spain, I'm talking about not the melanated ones, because they already had melanated or heavy-hued, what you call Europeans. But I'm talking about the one you call the Caucasians, you see, or what you would call white. They taught them. So when they went to Spain, they took over their empires and they ruled for over 700 years. Okay, now around 1492, Spain overtook the Moors and banished them from the land. Okay, hence you have the word wasteland. Moor meaning in terms of the landmass now, wasteland. They were no more. Okay, so they banished them. Some of them went back to Morocco, into North Africa, and seeing that the majority of them were already seamen. They were traveling. They knew of America in prehistory. In other words, they knew of prehistoric America, like I always told y'all. But they are only starting with history to throw you off. So we were already doing commerce with Asia, Europe, and Africa. Okay, we were already doing commerce with them. So the Moors had already known about us. Okay, Israel, brother. The Moors had already known about us. So they had already known about America. Okay, so some of them went back to Africa, and then the majority of them came. Again, they were enslavers. They came to what's called the Americas. Okay, now here's what they're not telling you about. Everybody's talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Now we all know that's the big myth with that big boat they can't find, or that big ship they can't find. The same way they can't find Noah's boat, they can't find the slave boat because it never existed. Now, I'm not disputing the fact that slaves did come from Africa. Like I have stated in previous videos, it's only about 350,000 to 400 slaves from Africa actually made it to the mainland, what we now call the United States of America. However, a little more got into South and Central, the Caribbean. Okay, but the millions, I'm talking about the 12, 13, 14, 15 millions of slaves that came to the mainland, they came from the Caribbean. They were already in America. It's like taking slaves from New York and bringing them to Virginia, but telling the slaves from in Virginia that those slaves are from Africa. when they were already in America. So don't let them lie to you. But here's what they're not telling you. They're not telling you about the Mediterranean slave trade. Mediterranean slave trade. Look it up. That is the slave trade when the Moors came here and they enslaved the indigenous peoples of the America. So family, I am telling you and showing you the atrocities that we went through, the abuse. That's why it is so hard for our people to get it together, because we have been abused by every single ethnic group that have come into our land. So the Moors actually enslaved us before you call the Spaniards or the Spanish conquest or the Portuguese or the so-called white man. Okay? And that was the Mediterranean slave trade. That was Moors enslaving the indigenous peoples of the Americas that they first called Indians. But nobody's telling you that, because you see, they're hiding behind the truth. They're hiding behind the truth. And one thing I got to tell you is this: there is nothing more dangerous than a lie that's disguised with some truth, because you will only focus on the truth. That's what's going to resonate with you, just the truth. But you see, you will not investigate the lie. But now, not me. I am here to bring the facts, and I'm going to debunk all those lies, and I'm going to call everybody out, because it's time that the truth be told. The children of the Americas, the indigenous children, the Aborigines need to stand up and realize who they are. We are different. We came from a different cloth, a different breed of people. And y'all could take that whichever way y'all want. All right? But I'm just here to bring the hard facts. So look up the Mediterranean slave trade. That was the Moors enslaving us. All right? Now, if you don't believe me, I also put that in the link below, what's called the Moors Sundry Act. And we're going to look at that real quick, because again, I want to show you the distinction between the Moors and the indigenous people. Because you see, this is not a game. It is time for the indigenous people to wake up and step into their rightful place as the landowners of the Americas, because this is who we are. We are the heir to this land. It's ours. Okay? So let's look at the Moors Sundry Act, all right, of 1790. It's also in the link below. It says, the Moors Sundry Act of 1790 is the name given in the 20th and the 21st century to a 1790 adversary resolution passed by South Carolina House of Representatives, clarifying the status of free subjects of Sultan of Morocco, Mohammed bin Abdullah. I'm going to repeat that just in case you didn't hear me. Okay? It's an act that was passed. The Moors Sundry Act of 1790 was passed, okay, as an advisory resolution by South Carolina of the House of Representatives, clarifying the status of free subjects of Sultan Morocco, Mohammed bin Abdullah. What is that saying? In layman's term, it is telling you that they were here, but they were still subjects of Morocco. Okay? Now let me continue for those of you who still find this hard to get and believe the truth that I'm bringing. It says, the resolution offered the option that free citizens of Morocco were not subject to the laws governed by blacks and slaves. You hear that? So the solution offered the opinion that free citizens of Morocco, not of the United States, not of the Americas, of Morocco. So the Moors who came here, they were still citizens of Morocco. They were still citizens of Morocco. Now, let me just go a little deeper with this. It says, on January 20th, 1790, a petition was presented to South Carolina House of Representatives from a group of 4 individuals who were subject of Moroccan Empire and resided or residents of the state. Again, it is clearly making a distinction between the Moors being subjects of Morocco, okay, and not residents of the state. Okay, it said they desired that if any happened to commit any fault amenable to be brought to justice, that as a subject to the prince allied with the United States through the Moroccan Treaty of Friendship, they would be tried as citizens instead of under the Negro Act. Now, even before I proceed, let's look at what the Negro Act is. Negro Act of 1740, the Comprehensive Negro Act of 1740, passed by South Carolina, made it illegal for slaves to move abroad, assemble in groups, raise food, earn money, and learn to write in English. Again, I am telling you, English wasn't your language. And they didn't want to teach you how to write English because all your secrets were hidden in books. And what they say, no disrespect, I'm not calling my people niggers, but what they say, if you want to hide anything from a nigger, put it in a book. Is that true or is that false? You tell me. What are most of our children doing? Are they reading, or are they playing video games, or buying sneakers, or watching TV, or watching reality shows? I'm just going to leave that here right now. But let's go back to the Moor Sundry Act. So now that you know what the 1740 was about, okay, because again, the Moors were already trading with the Americans, which is us, okay, we had signed the treaty. And because of that respect in the treaty, we say that, okay, you know what? Well, the United States said that they're going to treat them differently than they would treat the Negroes and the so-called slaves. So when they come about and they say, well, we are Moors and America is Morocco, here's the treaty. Tell them to take that and they know where they could put it. That is not a treaty verifying or confirming that Morocco is America. Again, you go read it yourself. That's what happened when you don't research and study yourself. That's what happened when you allow people to tell you things. That's what happened when you allow people to be your teachers and not research what they are telling you. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying all this to, discriminate against anybody. I am just putting our story in perspective because the truth must be told. Okay, so that treaty they're waving about, talking about the treaty of treaty and friendship, this just shows that, America, the Morocco was the first to recognize America. That's a whole different context. And that America, the whole north of America is Morocco and we are Moorish American. No. Okay, no. Every indigenous people that's in the Americas that's melanated, they are not Moors and they were never Moors. Now, don't get me wrong. Because of the mix, some of us did end up having some more blood in us. So the majority of the people that's going around calling themselves Moors, the Moorish temple and the empires, they are not bloodline Moors. They have just adopted a movement, just like how you have adopted Let's Be Black, Black Lives Matter, and now the conscious community. They might as well turn the conscious community into a nation. In maybe 20 years, it might be a nation. You hear people talking about, yo, I'm a nation of the conscious community. It's the same thing. People are looking for a place to belong. All right? I hope that makes sense so far. All right. Now, give me 1 second, family. Let me just get this together. Like I said, we already have that. Now, the indigenous peoples were already here. I have shown you videos to prove that. And again, we had the same hue, the same complexion. So it was a little hard to tell us apart. And South Carolina even passed a law that the Indians, the indigenous people, which are us, we had to dress differently from the Moors or the slaves from Africa because they couldn't tell the difference, all right? And I also have some information on that, okay? What's called, I forgot to put it in the description, but after this video, I'm gonna put it in the description. It's called Colonial Laws Divide and Conquer. I think I put that in there already, but it's telling you about all, the restrictions between blacks, Negroes, and you see, so there's some type of relationship between slaves, blacks, Indians, because they all had the same complexion. So that's why they call everybody blacks, everybody Negroes, everybody Moors, because it just meant the hue of your skin. So we have to get those things in its proper context. All right. So if I didn't put that in the link, I'm going to put that in the link after I spoke about the Moor's Sundry Act. I spoke about that already. And let me continue. The resolution offered opinion, free citizens of Morocco, blacks, etc., 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 relation to Moors. I already did all that. The idea of Moors all over the world. I already got into that whole concept of they saying that everybody in the world is a Moor. They're only talking about the color Moor, but not the native or indigenous people of Morocco. How could everybody in the world be Moroccans? Like, that is just so ridiculous. And I'm asking my brothers who are indigenous to the Americas, have you ever researched what it means to be a Moor and why you call yourself a Moor? Have you traced your genealogy back to Morocco? Like, family, we have to wake up, man. We have to wake up. And again, I'm no disrespect to those who call themselves Moor or Moors. If you are a Moor by bloodline, okay, then you are Moroccan or you're a Berber. But don't say you're Moor because it's a movement. You feel me? No, know your roots, know where your blood came from. And that's the point I am trying to make. All right. Now, know that Moor, so here's another thing that Moors always say, right? Everything that starts with M-O, it means more. How ridiculous could that be? Like, seriously, what are you guys trying to prove? Everything with M-O means Moors. Like, seriously, right? Let's be serious about this. Okay, so once again, family, use your head. Stop letting people think for you. Okay? Now, indigenous people were already called, we already said that indigenous people were already here. Okay, we know that they were called blacks and all that stuff, etc. Let me just, like I said, family, I'm going through my notes, so bear with me for a second. The story as much as they knew indigenous people who did not call themselves Moors. Of course, I mean, even a lot of our indigenous people here, if you go talk to the elders, they'll tell you, we weren't called Moors, we're not Moors. That's why I say, in order for you to really go to the root of where you're from, you have to go talk to your elders. If you don't have a grandmother, talk to your great-grandmother. If you don't have a great-grandmother, talk to a great-grand-aunt, uncle, a cousin. Trust me, somebody have a story to tell you the truth about who you are, okay? Now, how the Moors started claiming they're indigenous to the Americas. Like I told you before, the Moors who went to Spain, it was an army. When they went to Spain, it was all men. So, of course, you know, the Moors, they loved them European women. Okay? When they came to the Americas, they didn't come with their wives. So they intermingled again with the indigenous women. Now, in our culture, all right, on the American continent, you know, it was really a matriarchal society. So that means if you married a woman, okay, that gave you rights to what she had. Because a lot of things were passed down from the woman and not the man. I'm telling you about the American continent culture. The Indians, what they call the Indians. We were a matriarchal society. Okay? Moors, Africa, Europe, all that stuff is patriarchal. So when they came, they married our women, and that gave them what you call indigenous status or made them natives of the land. So now they're going around talking about, hey, this is our land. We've been here. No, it's not. This land belonged to the indigenous peoples of the Americas who were here before y'all came. All right. So again, truth is truth, and I got to bring the light, but I'm just breaking it down so you could really know what it is. All right. I'm searching for self. And okay. So like I told you before, a lot of people who call themselves Moors, they are really people, you know, searching for identity, searching for a sense of belonging. You see, they don't know that they're indigenous to the land. Nobody taught them that. So they are lost. Same thing like the conscious community, people coming out of Christianity, people coming from a place where you were told that you were slaves. When you come out, where do I belong? So these people, hey, what's up, Israel? So these people, you know what? They gravitate towards popular. And that's how a lot of our brothers and sisters end up being Moors. They are looking for a form of escape. They are looking for a way to escape, family. And like I said, go read the Sundry Act of 1790. It will tell you again, prove to you that Moors are not indigenous to the Americas. And go look at the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Now, when you look at videos on YouTube, you will see that when a lot of these so-called Moors or Moorish people, when they get stopped by cops, what happened? 9 or 10 out of 10 times, they end up going to jail. Why do you think so? Do you think because what they are talking about is not legit? No, don't get me wrong. A lot of them know a lot of the laws. They know the laws. But the problem is the people that's talking to the police are not real Moors. They are indigenous Americans saying they're Moors. So that is fraud. That is fraud because the Moroccan Empire do not acknowledge them as Moors because they are not from Morocco. So you have a bunch of indigenous Americans, okay, Aborigines, going around calling themselves Moors. When they get stopped by the cops and start talking all this stuff, putting all these papers, they get arrested for fraud. Don't you think the US government know who the real Moors are? Family, all I'm just doing is asking you to wake up. And now, once again, I have to make my disclaimer. I am not doing this video to promote hate or any type of animosity, but we have to know our history. We have to know the truth, and it may hurt. It may cause some form of separation, but you know what? Sometimes you have to isolate yourself and register. Let things make sense to you so that you could come back with your move. And that's why a lot of these dudes get arrested and go to jail. That's why. Because they are not bloodline Moors. They are not bloodline Moors. So when you go around talking about you're Moor, pushing all this paperwork, you are committing fraud. Because the Moroccan Empire, the Sultan or the Prince of Morocco do not recognize you as their people. And one thing they do, trust me, they represent their people, and they show that by the treaty that they signed with the United States. Let me ask you a question. For all you so-called African Americans and all you black people that say you're from Africa, where's the treaty? Where is the treaty that the United States signed with Africa telling them to treat their people better? Y'all better wake up, man. Y'all better wake up. You know why they can't sign no treaties? They can't sign no treaties. It's because you are not from Africa. You are American. Always been in America. You are indigenous to America. That's why there's no treaties. Why do you think the real Moors got one? Because they are not indigenous to the land, but they needed some form of respect and acknowledgement. So they signed the treaty. The Moroccan government signed the treaty with the United States to treat their citizens with respect. So the real Moors get respect. You see what I'm saying? But the so-called Moors, or the Moorish ones, okay, which are actually indigenous Americans calling themselves Moors, they go to jail for fraud. Y'all don't believe me? Go ahead and try calling yourself a Moor and present this paperwork and see what's going to happen. You better make sure your bloodline is right. Y'all better wake up. Trust me, the US government know who the real Moors are, or the real Moroccans are, okay? We're not even going to talk about, you know, we never see a lot of what's called Moors women or Moorish women being prominent in society. Why is that? You have heard of, you know, so-called African American accomplishments. Why they don't give their women any accomplishments? Because you know what? That concept came from Africa, a patriarchal society that was introduced to them. I don't know if they had it already, but that's where it came from. We have always uplifted and honored our women in our land. But of course, they came and taught our people differently. That's why you have so many of our men going around disrespecting our women, because we knew that the greatness of a nation literally stood on the back of how great the women were. And that is just a fact. I can't deny it. I can't let my ego get in the way of telling the truth. All right? Now, you also have Moors who always say Islam and Muslim are two different things. Again, the wordplay is about confusion. They are confusing you. Okay? They're telling you, well, you have the nation of Islam, who is a religion, right? Or if it is a religion, I don't know, but they practice the Islamism or whatever it is, right? But Moors always tell you, well, it's I-S-L-A-M in all capital letters with dots, meaning something like I self master something, of master of self. Man, it is Islam. It is still the religion. Okay? And then, oh, we're not Muslims, we're Muslims with a O-M, with M-O-S. Like, seriously, man. Why are you guys trying so hard to confuse our people? Huh? It is still an indoctrination of the religion. We didn't have Islam before y'all came. We didn't have Christianity before anybody came. We didn't have Judaism before anybody came. We didn't have Catholicism or Catholic, whatever you want to call them, before anybody came. We didn't have any of those religions. Those things was forced and imposed on us. Of course, some of it was adapted because we used to trade with each other. So everything wasn't done through force. I have to be honest and I have to keep it real. Okay? So that whole thing about Islam mean I master self and all that, listen, man, you're a Muslim. Okay? You're part of the nation of Islam. Stop with the BS and stop trying to confuse our people. It is the same thing. You guys are related, okay, with religion. It's the same religion. Why you can't find other words to describe who you are? Stop it, okay? Of absolutely high frequency, the mother is the mother of civilization. And it has been proven, okay, in every single generation. You see, the problem with them is they don't give their women credit. We have always given our women credit. We have always held them on a high pedestal, but they came and taught us how to treat our women like bitches. And that's why they go around calling them that today. So I only got to speak the truth. Y'all could hate the truth as much as y'all want. Guess what? I don't care. All right? Now, once again, family, like I have always said, if you want to know who you are, start talking to your family. I will tell you one thing with our people, and when I say our people, I mean the indigenous peoples of the Americas, the so-called African American and the blacks. A lot of us, and I'm not going to categorize everybody because I don't do that, and I'm certainly sure a lot of you don't do it because you are here seeking knowledge. But the majority of our people wait for information to fall into their laps. That's why they depend on social media, they depend on the news, they depend on everything that people give them. They don't investigate themselves. So whatever they tell you becomes your reality. How about going to investigate yourself? How about looking for the truth for yourself and not allowing people to tell you your truth? Because they will lie to you. And like I said before, the most dangerous lie is the ones that are disguised with the truth. Because once you hear a little truth, okay, you forget about the lie. So family, it's time to wake up, okay? It's time to wake up. I'm going through this, family. Bear with me. This is a lot of heavy information here, and I'm bringing it to y'all raw, okay? All right. So why aren't the Africans claiming their people? Like I mentioned before, if you guys are Africans, why isn't Africa coming to claim you? If you guys are black and you're from Africa, where is the treaty protecting you in a foreign land? The same way that the real Moors that are here had a treaty to protect them. You see, the Sultan knew that his people was here. So he signed the treaty to protect his people. And the US government know who the real Moors are. But for all you so-called African Americans and blacks who think you're Moors and who think you are black and you think you're from Africa, how come Africa haven't signed a treaty? You mean to tell me Africa is a huge continent with how many countries? And none of them say, you know what, man, check this out. Our people been here for over 500 years. Damn. Can we at least sign a treaty? Can we at least ask the US to do us a favor and do us a solid, man? Like, for real, can you at least give our people a bly, give them a play? I mean, do you have to kill them like that? Africa is not doing it. So how are you African? Family, you could deny it as much as you want, and you could be in denial as much as you want. It doesn't change the fact that you are indigenous to the Americas. And the reason why a lot of you are going through what you are going, well, I'm going to say us because I'm in the same boat, is because the majority of y'all are not honoring your ancestors. So your ancestors feel abandoned and they're not looking out for you. It is simple as that. So y'all better wake up and realize that. All right? Now, like I said, stop depending on the media. If you go and look at the Olmecs has never said they were from Africa, because you know what? The Olmecs were indigenous to the Americas. And that's a fact. Y'all could go research that. Now, you have the groups from Kemet who say they're Egyptians. You have the Hebrews, you have the Israelites, you have the Moors, you have the Christians, you have the Muslims, right? Now, here's the thing about it. I'm not even gonna go into prehistoric America again to remind you that America was the first Egypt, because I don't want that to be a little confusing. But the people right now who all about Kemet and Hotep and the Ankh and all these different things right here, they don't even know that America was the first Egypt, but they think they're from Africa. So now you have those people, the Kemet crew, then you have the Hebrew Israelites, you have the Moors, the Christians, and the Muslims. They in a community fighting each other. They all are fighting with each other, and none of them is indigenous to the Americas. And again, don't get me wrong, a lot of our people adopted those religions and ideas, okay? They adopted it. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't respect it. If you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, I don't have a problem with that, okay? But know that it is not indigenous to the Americas. Just know that. It's the same way you call yourself a Christian, but Christianity is not indigenous to the Americas. So if you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, it's okay, because that's something that you adapted and it became notorious. So I don't have a problem. You see, I don't have a problem with people being them. Just know where it came from. That's all I'm just saying. Just know where it came from. Yeah, you have the Jews, etc., all those people. You see, because they have you in a conscious community debating and fighting, causing confusion, distracting you, the real indigenous people, from who you truly are, putting you in Africa so they could take your damn land and make you immigrants. Hey, go see why they hired Ben Carson. But y'all gonna learn though. Y'all gonna learn one way or the other. I'm gonna pound this truth in y'all head. All right. Now, here's another thing that is Moors do. They have thousands of paperwork that they got to let you sign. Okay, you got to pay $700 to $2,500 because you are looking to be sovereign. You're looking for sovereignty. Okay, indigenous peoples of the Americas don't need sovereignty because we were born to this land. Okay, we were always free on this land. Well, of course, until they took our shit. Okay, so now you have indigenous people, American Aborigines, going around trying to be sovereign, calling themselves Moors, and going to jail for fraud. Oh, damn, my ancestors, please open these people's eyes. Please, I'm asking you. I'm glad you are using me, but I don't know what they need. What else can I do? What else can I say? I mean, so you are here paying for all this money to do paperwork to get sovereignty, calling yourself a Moor and going to jail for fraud because you don't know you're indigenous to the Americas. Wow. But you know what, family? I'm not mad at you. All right? And that's why I do what I do, to bring the truth to light, get you out of the darkness, get you out of the blackness. Okay? That's all I could do. I cannot force it down your throats. You know what I mean? I can't do that. You have the free will to do as you choose. But remember, the children of the Most High perish for the lack of knowledge. And you have to know that. It says, what do the ancestors want us to do? Show that we're obedient. Well, family, first, you have to honor them. Even in their Bible, it tells you, honor thy mother and fathers so that your days could be longer. How is our days going to be longer when we are here disrespecting our ancestors? We are not honoring them. Huh? So we have to wake up, family. We have to wake up. Let me go through these notes, and after we're gonna have our dialogue, we're gonna have some fun with this. All right. Israel says, but does it not take they were part of the problem? But does not take they were. You're gonna have to rephrase that question, my brother. But let me just go through this real quick, and after that, we're gonna go to the chat room and we're gonna politic, all right? Because I have some more information. I gotta get into this. So we talk about the sovereignty stuff. And again, look at so like I told you before, look at the Sundry 1790 Act. That wasn't for indigenous Americans, they call the Indians. That was for the real bloodline Moors. And that's why it's not working for the Moorish people who call themselves Moors and are not Moors, because they are not Moors by bloodline. So that's why the jail is filled with them for paper fraud. Okay? Again, Moors are foreign to this land. just like Christianity is foreign to this land, just like Islam is foreign to this land, just like Hebrew Israelites is foreign to this land. Okay? And again, that is just a fact. Now, we are almost here. Okay? We're almost here at the bottom. All right. So family, even in the early and the late 1800s, Frederick Douglass was telling you that you're indigenous to the Americas. Okay? When Malcolm X was all into this, you know, black, away from Africa, when he went to Mecca, he found out the truth. They said, listen, man, you ain't from here. What'd he do? When he came back, guess what? Oh, the American Aborigine. We are the American Aborigine. What they did? Boom. They shot him in his head. When Martin Luther King finally woke up and realized the truth, I have seen the promised land, and the Negro has become exiled in his own land. What do you think the promised land is? It's your land. How can you be exiled in your own land? Family, read between the lines, man. Huh? You are the indigenous peoples of the America. We have always been here. So what they do? They take out all the ones who are telling the truth. All those who are telling the truth, they take them out. But it's all right though. I'm making an archive of all my videos so they can't hide it. And I'm putting them all in them on a hard drive. And my peoples already know what to do with it. Because the truth will prevail. They cannot take it because it has already been spoken. It's in the atmosphere. They can't take it. And my ancestors are pleased with what I'm doing. All right. So family, once again, we have just come to the nitty-gritty of all this. And now we're going to go in on some of these people. All right. Let me see. Black coverage to meet Atlantic Ocean. All right. Beautiful. So family, here's some information that you're going to love. All right. You have all these so-called master teachers in the community, right? All these so-called master teachers. I'm going to prove to you that they are indigenous to the Americas because you see, this chief here don't play. I bring facts. I bring truth. And I'm going to put it in the link because it's there so you could see it yourself. I don't want to just say, well, I'm just saying this. Whatever I could prove, I'm going to prove. So I'm going to prove this to you. Okay. So let's start with all this so-called, you know, master teachers. Now, I'm not putting them down. They all played a role. So you have people like Dr. Henry Clark. Don't get me wrong. I looked at his videos, but all he was doing was putting us in Africa. So that's a fraud. No disrespect to the ancestor. Okay. But telling everybody in the Americas that they're from Africa, that's fraudulent because it's a lie. So y'all can hate that if y'all want. I am telling the truth. Okay. We have Dr. Ben Jokenham or Jokenham. I forgot how his name is. Forgive me for the pronunciation, but I think it's Jokenham. Telling everybody that they're from Africa. Don't get me wrong. They give a lot of information about Christianity and the origin of all the religions. I respect that. But by them telling everybody they're from Africa, that was fraudulent as well. So you are not my master teacher. All right. Let's continue. Even Professor or Dr. Ivan van Sertima, he said in a lecture, well, allegedly, he said that if he only spoke the truth of what he's known, they would have killed him. Okay? I mean, he's passed on and he's ascended. Anyway, you know, much love to the ancestor, but we all have to go at some point. So why not tell the truth? Why not tell the truth? And he has told about numerous stories and given information about the indigenous people, what they call the natives of America, and what we have brought into this civilized world. But I'm just getting started, baby. I'm just getting started. Let's talk about Professor Smalls. Professor Smalls, I gotta have a lot of respect for you, my brother. You call yourself a master teacher, they call you a master teacher. But let us look at your genealogy here for a second, because you say that you never talk about your indigenous ancestry when you do your presentations. I've never heard it. Let me rephrase that. I am not going to say that you have never done it. I have never heard it. And I have seen numerous amount of your lectures. As a matter of fact, I have been to a few of your lectures. As a matter of fact, I have taken pictures with you at some of your lectures. All right. Now, let us pull up your biography, Professor Smalls, my brother, and I'm coming in peace. Okay. Professor Smalls was born in 1945 on Acadea Plantation, located on the banks of the Wakacamu River. This lowland rice plantation is located where the Wakamu PD, which is an Indian word, and Black rivers converge to meet the Atlantic Ocean on the shores of historic Georgetown, South Carolina. We know how deep South Carolina go with the indigenous people that we call the Indians. Man, I love this. I love this. Professor Small was born to a family that traces their descent, heritage. No, hold up. Professor Small's family, you know, a family that traces their descent from enslaved Africans to the Yoruba, Akan, and Iwi people of West Africa. Now, Professor Smalls, I am not disputing that, because we all have a little bit of African ancestry in us. Okay, we all do. Not because we are from Africa, but because they came here and they mixed with us. Some of it voluntarily and some of it by force. But I am just getting started with Professor Smalls. Okay, Professor Smalls' heritage also stems from the Native American ancestors that inhabited these South Carolina shores. Both his maternal great-grandmother and his paternal great-great-grandmother were members of the Chicora Nation and made their home along the mighty Wakamoe River. Professor Small, why don't you talk about your Indian heritage? Huh? So that means you guys are in the conscious community telling us we should honor our ancestors and bigging up all the ancestors in Africa. But did you forget your little grandmother and your great-grandmother? And I'm not coming at you with any disrespect, my brother. I'm just saying that we have to speak the truth. We have to speak the truth. Why aren't you talking about your indigenous American heritage? Why aren't you speaking about that? Because as you could see, it's your biography. And there's a clear distinction with your ancestry from Africa and your Native American ancestry. So that is showing it is two different lineages. So Professor Small, master teacher, why aren't you talking about it? Why all you push is Africa? Why all you push is Africa? Why don't you push and tell the people the truth that we are indigenous to the Americas? Once again, I'm going to repeat this part right here. Professor Small's heritage also stems from the Native American ancestors that inhabited the South Carolina shores, both in his maternal great-grandmother and his paternal great-grandmother were both. I'm talking about maternal and paternal, telling you that they were indigenous to the Americas from the Chicora Nation, made their home along the mighty Wakamoe River. Huh? But yet still, they in the conscious community. Oh, you are from Africa. You are black. Huh? Professor Small, what happened to your great-grandmother and your great-grandmother from your father's side that was indigenous to the America? Huh? You forget to tell them that? Why you don't talk about that? Anyway, enough with Professor Smalls. Let me proceed. Okay? Let me proceed. So I'm coming down here again. So this is a question I'm going to ask all your so-called master teachers. You see, they're not my master teachers. Like I said, they provide information and I research the information, then I take it to my ancestors for validation. I do what's called in-searching. I don't just let people tell me things. I am not a follower. Like I told you before, I have always given things and done things where I was ahead of my time. And many are called, but chosen a few. And my ancestors sent their son to do their work. So if y'all don't want to see the truth, I'm showing you the proof. And if you still don't want to believe it, then you know what? I have done my job. I have done my job. So I have a question, okay? I have a question to Brother Polite. Where is your great-great-grandmother from? I know she told you you were a little Indian. Why aren't you telling the people that you're indigenous? I have a question for, like I said, Brother Pharaoh. Where is your great-grandmother from? I know you heard she told you that you're a little Indian. And the only reason why they tell you that you're a little Indian is because when you said Indian, you were an Indian, they would kill you back in the days. So they give you little clues. Remember the story of Little Red Riding Hood? When she left home, she put little breadcrumbs. That's what great-grandmother did. Great-grandmama and them. They gave little breadcrumbs. Baby, you got some Indian in you. Because they couldn't tell you. You see, they still have that fear in them. What they're trying to tell you is you are the original Indian. So my brother Pharaoh, with all love, let us have this conversation, brother. Let's talk. Where's your great-grandmother from? And don't forget, I have a way to know if you guys are lying. Because they are sure not from Africa. So why y'all trying to put our people in Africa? Why y'all calling them black? I'm calling y'all out because y'all are the most dominant ones in the conscious community. Brother Umar Johnson. Exactly. They don't talk about it. High frequency, they don't talk about it. Because you see, their goal is to take us away from our great accomplishments. Their goal is to hide the fact that America has always been here and America has always been the beacon of the world. But I'm here to expose the truth. Brother Umar Johnson, why? Where's your great-grandmother from? I mean, I heard you had some Caribbean ancestry. Don't you know that the Caribbean is also in the Americas? So why are you trying to tell our people they're in Africa? Why are you trying to put them in Africa? I'm calling all y'all out. Brother Seti or Seti. I mean, I know you're indigenous to the Americas. Why are you putting our people in Africa? Why are you putting them in Africa? Why are you calling them black? So you are honoring one part of your ancestry, but you're abandoning the original home of your great-grandparents. But yet still, oh, we got to honor our ancestors. Honor to the ancestors, pour libations. Y'all a bunch of hypocrites, man. And y'all gonna pay that spiritual price. Trust me, because y'all are chasing vanity and fame. Y'all are chasing vanity and fame while y'all sell out y'all people. But I'm here to bring the truth. So I'm calling y'all out. And again, I'm not coming with no disrespect. I'm just asking very nicely. That's all I'm doing. Let's talk about Sinetta. Sinetta, you are indigenous to the Americas. How come you don't talk about your indigenous ancestry? I know your grandmother is Indian, brother. I could see it in your eyes. So why are you calling our people black and putting them in Africa? You know why? I know, because it pays. Black is the energy that pays. As you could see, the entire world is building on everything and anyone who is black. Y'all want the truth? I'm gonna bring the truth. Okay? You have a brother on YouTube called The Real Makiba or The Real Macabre. My brother, you know, I haven't looked at a lot of your videos and I'm not putting you in that category. I hope you are talking to the people because you do a lot of research. I mean, I know you do videos for 3-4 hours long. But why are you guys hiding the fact that we were already here? Why are you hiding the fact that we were already here? Give the people the truth, brother, the real Makiba or Makaba. Okay? We have RFG, the chosen one. RFG sent me a request on Facebook. I accepted the request. I said, hey, what's up, brother? Peace. Hey, what's good, brother? Blah, blah, blah. I said, brother, we got to build. We got to build. The brother says, sure. Anything that you want, if you need any information, ask me, I will tell you. Brother, I didn't come to you to ask you for information. I'm not trying to learn what you are teaching. Okay? So I asked him a simple question. My brother, all I want to know is what's your end game? What is your plan for our people? That's all. He read it and he never responded. So brother RFG, again, I am not trying to cause any animosity. I'm not looking for beef for anybody. I just want you guys to speak the truth. That's all. Tell the people the truth. Let them decide after they know that they're indigenous to the America. If they still want to be Africans, then at least they're doing it because of a choice, not because they don't know. So brother RFG never got back to me. So brother RFG, I know that you're indigenous. So why aren't you telling people? Or maybe you have, I don't know. So I take that back. All right. We also have a news channel, or a channel that's on YouTube called Black News 102. I think it's still Sinetta. House of Consciousness, still Sinetta. Sinetta, why do you keep pushing Africa? Why do you keep pushing Black? What happened to your mama and them that's from the American continent? Why are you disrespecting and abandoning your ancestors? Don't you know that there's a spiritual price to pay for that? Or would you rather get the monetary gain? Oh, me, no. I know it's a spiritual death and a spiritual karma for me to mislead my people if I know the truth. So that's why I'm telling the truth, because you see, spiritually, I'm going to be all right. I may not have it all here in the physical, but guess what? When I get back to mom and them up there, guess what? I'm going to be all right. So I'm not worried about that. All right. Now, let's talk about another popular news channel on YouTube, Black Magic 363. I looked at some of y'all videos and y'all still pushing the Africa stuff. And a lot of these guys that's actually on that channel, they are American Indians, but they never talk about it. All they talk about is Kemet. All they talk about is Africa. Again, you guys are abandoning your ancestors. Last but not least, because there's a lot of them, Dr. Boyce Watkins. You are synonymous and popular for calling our people Black. Our people are not Black. I have seen a lot of your posts and have commented and suggested and told you that our people are not Black, but you have ignored it. So I'm asking you, tell the public why you call them Black. When you know Black is a color, Black is not a nationality, Black people don't exist, and within law, it means that they are dead. They have no rights. It means that they are 3/5 of a human. Why are you calling them Black? Why are you calling them African Americans? Africa is a continent. America is a continent. Dr. Boyce Watkins, why are you calling our people two continents? So family, this is the end of this presentation here. Okay, so now I could go to the chat room and we could talk and let's build. And again, I didn't call out these people to start any beef. This is not what it is. This is about getting to the truth so that we could finally come together and unite and do what we have to do. Because you see, these people are looking for instant gratification. Right now, being Black pays. Right now, being conscious pays. Right now, being African American pays. Right now, being Pan-African pays. You see, being indigenous don't pay. So they're not gravitating to that. They are going with the masses, just like Christianity pays. Okay? Religion pays. So family, we have to wake up, man. And oh yes, family, they have the information. Don't get me wrong, they got some good info. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't, look at them. I'm not saying that, because I don't want it to come from a perspective of me hating. I don't want it to come from that. Okay, what I'm just saying is they are not telling the complete truth. And the worst lie is a lie that's disguised with truth. The sister said, I also think that there are some full-blooded Africans in the community that are pretending to be African Americans trying to push it. Of course, because they're getting paid. And here's another observation, but maybe it's just me. You see, our people are trying so hard to be who they are not that it is embarrassing. You have our brothers and sisters on the African continent. They know you're not Africans and they're laughing at you. I mean, look at the real brothers and sisters that are in the Americas from the African continent. Guess what? They hardly wear dashikis, and they hardly walk around with ox, and they don't do what you are doing. You try so hard to fit in when you are already in. You in your land. Find out about your history. Find out about your culture. Find out about our ways. And that's what you rock. That's what you represent. Why are you trying so hard to be somebody else? You don't see the real Africans over here with dashikis. No, they got jeans on. You don't see them with no angst. So why are you trying so hard? Who are you trying to impress? What statement are you trying to make? Where are you trying to fit in? You're trying to fit in a place where you don't belong. If you did belong, they would have already sent for you. High frequency, I appreciate that. I know a lot of people know I'm not hating, but I just like to, again, make that statement. You know what I mean? Because, a lot of times people assume things. And one thing I know, assumptions is the mother of all F-ups. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to sound, I love my brothers that's giving knowledge. Seti, Pharaoh, I mean, I love you guys, man. I love your energy. But tell the people the truth. That's all I'm just saying. Because with us being together, knowing that we're indigenous, can you imagine what would happen? So now the agenda of the colonizers is to pay these people, support their movement, okay, so that they could keep you disenfranchised. Because they know if the American Aborigine wake up, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Why do you think they're not putting you in those camps? Why do you think they're not taking you out the streets? Because you don't know who you are. You're still African American. I guarantee if we just woke up tomorrow and knew we were indigenous to the Americas, they would step up their game. They would come at us a little harder because now they say, oh, the tribes are waking up. We did warn them about the tribes. So family, stop trying to fit in where you don't belong, okay? I know you want to be proud to be black. I know you want to be proud to be Pan-African, your RFBG or your RFGI. Well, I know you want to do all that, but it's not indigenous to the Americas, okay? You're not from Africa. Because like I said, you don't see the real Africans in the Americas with dashikis on. You don't see them with it. It's only people who are trying to fit in. And they over there laughing at you. Oh, look at these Americans. They are not Africans. And I'm not making fun of my brothers and sisters. I'm just telling you the facts. Okay, because like I said, over 20 years ago, my Nigerian brothers and sisters, they adopted me. So I have a lot of love for my African brothers and sisters from the African continent. But they also knew that I was an African. Okay? They also knew that I was an African. So the truth of the matter is, family, we have to wake up. Now, like I said, I've given you guys information about how to first identify yourself. Yes, I did a DNA, but you don't have to do it. You don't have to do a DNA. But do you feel they all know the truth? Yes, they know the truth. High frequency, they know the truth. I mean, come on. If people could tell you about Mars and people could tell you about aliens that's on Pluto, right? If they could tell you about Homo sapiens and Homo erectus and Homo bisexuals and all these homos, and I'm not trying to be funny, if they could tell you about all these things, how is that they missed the simple fact that we are indigenous to the Americas? It is done intentionally. Okay? It is to hide and disguise the truth of our true identity. And that is the mission. That is the mission, family. If we could take them away from their land, then we could take the land. And don't get me wrong. Some of them may be just doing it just because it's a movement, it's an energy, and they got caught up in the hype. Okay? So to no fault of theirs, they got caught up. But at the end of the day, I blame you. Why? Because ignorance is no excuse. You see, when you violate their laws and you go to court, what they tell you? Ignorance is no excuse of the law. You cannot tell the judge, well, Your Honor, I didn't know. What they're going to tell you? Ignorance is no excuse of the law. And that's just the truth. Because they know the truth. You see, they know the truth. If dudes could go back all the way to, 45 BC and 45 BCE and 45 AD and RFG and 45 SPU, if they could go back in all these times, you mean to tell me that just before 1492, you didn't know that people were already here and they were pretty much 90% of them were melanated and heavy melanated and what you call copper? I mean, come on, family, like seriously, man. I mean, they got to stop playing with my intelligence. They got to stop that BS, man. They got to stop. So what I'm asking you guys, you see what I'm saying? Enough respect, Jazzy. What I'm asking you guys to do is to question these people, okay? Whenever they do their videos, or no matter what they talk about, question them. All in their timeline. What is your nationality? Where are you from? Why aren't you telling us you are indigenous to the Americas? I guarantee you eventually you will force the truth out of them, because right now they're constipated. So they need a laxative. And I need you to be that laxative so that they could start flowing, so they could go to the bathroom and let their barrels out, let the truth out. Because right now they're constipated. And I'm here to detox. I'm here to detox them. That's right. Call me the detox of the conscious community. Call me the laxative. I'm here to give them enemas or whatever you call it. You know, that stuff when you let them drink, you know, and you know, they that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. How come they know everything else except, I mean, 1492 is not that far. 1492 is only a few years. And you could go back to all these BCs and these BIs and the BIG and the Tupacs. And you trying to tell me you don't know before 1492 that 90% of the people who was here is us, the ones they call the Negro and the Black and the African American? Come on, they are helping and they are working with the agenda of the colonizers because they want to, you know what, family? I'm going to keep it real. They took out over 60% of us that was on the American continent when they came. That's what they were trying to do. 60% or if 90% or at least 60 to 80% of us. They took us out, meaning that they made us extinct. They killed our people because they knew how great the American continent was. They knew that we have always been the beacon of the world. They knew that we were the first civilization that emerged after Peleg. They know that. When the whole entire earth divulged underwater during the so-called Noah's Ark, they knew that America was the first land that submerged. That's why they tried to kill the firstborns in Egypt, the first America. What y'all telling me, man? They can't test these facts, but they're going to run and hide around it. But they can't hide from the truth, though. No, they cannot. They can't do that. It ain't happening because I'm talking to my ancestors. They're bringing the information to me. You see what I'm saying? They go to books. You see, don't get me wrong. I go to books, but after I meditate and I ask my ancestors to guide me, when I punch in one letter on Google, guess what? A book comes up or a video come up or some information come up. Y'all don't have to believe me, you know, but I know. Because after I meditate and I ask my ancestors for guidance, let's just say, you know what? I asked my ancestors for a book that's called, let's just say, Jewelry. It starts with a J. And I meditate and I go to Google and I punch in S. Even if I punch in S, guess what comes up? Jewelry. That's how connected I am with my ancestors. So I don't play these games, man. I don't play these games. Jazzy said I live near the pyramids of course, that's man, listen, that's original to the American continent, the pyramids, okay? The mounds, all those were a lot older than what's in the new so-called Egypt in Africa. And once again, family, I am not doing these videos to, again, separate us from our family on the African continent. We are relatives, okay? And we are supposed to unite, and they are supposed to support us. You know why? You know why they're supposed to support us? And the entire indigenous peoples in the world supposed to support us? I will tell you why. Because the entire world is looking at us. And their own liberation depends on how liberated we are. So that's why they need to support us and also start telling the truth. But a lot of them don't know. Jazzy said, John said, I still claim Africa. Some of them came from Africa. My brother, again, you could claim whatever you want. You have the right to self-identity, okay? I'm indigenous to the Americans, to the Americas, so I'm an American Aborigines with African ancestry also in me. Okay, this is my land first, so I'm claiming that first. Okay. If you go look at the invaders and their seals, like I told y'all before, they always show the original first, and then the conqueror is on the right. Okay, so I'm always first, I rep my American indigenous ancestry first, and of course, and I still honor my African ancestry. So my brother, you could call yourself what you want. I respect what you call yourself. Okay? If y'all want to call yourself Africans, when they're ready to send you to Africa, and Africa ain't got no place for you because you're not Africans, then you can't blame nobody for that. All right? I am just here to bring you the truth, and you do what you want with it. I'm not here to convince you that you're African. I'm just here to show you and prove to you that you are an American Aborigine. All right? Jazzy said most of us have the capstone missing. That's why they call them mounds. Of course, you know. So family, we have to know our true culture. We have to know our true history. And these things are written and it's hidden in plain sight. Like I said before, speak to your elders. Okay? Talk to your elders. If you don't have a grandmother, talk to a great-grand aunt, a great-grand uncle. They will start telling you the truth, family. Also, go look at the Catholic archives. It will tell you that the Negro was the Indian. It is, you see, and that's why they say, family, and again, no disrespect. If you want to hide anything from a, you know what, put it in a book. Okay? Put it in a book. Go into the Catholic archives. You will get some truth. Go into the census, census records, okay, where they have Negroes as Indians. You will see the truth. Go into the congressional records. You will see the truth. Family, how much more can I give you? What else do you want from me? Huh? You guys, I mean, I love y'all, man, but it's taking up all my energy giving you this information. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I do it because I love you. I do it because it's my obligation. Because if I know the truth and I can't speak the truth, family, that is a spiritual karma that I'm going to attach to myself. And I don't want that. You see, these people in these communities, they have no conscience. They are conscious, but they have no conscience. Because they are searching fame. They are chasing the money. And they would rather sell you out for 30 pieces of silver than to tell you the truth. But you know what? Not me. I would rather put my GoFundMe link in the link below and ask you for donations. If you support, great. If you don't, it is what it is. Trust me. But I would rather, and I'm not manifesting that for myself, but I would rather be on the streets homeless than to deceive and lie to my people. And trust me, that's real talk. Because this whole transition of my growth has made me homeless once, and on a second occasion, almost got homeless again. All right? Almost got homeless. My little boy that I have always fought for, my son that I raised on my chest, never had breast milk. Raised him with a bottle. I'm not taking anything away from his mother. She was there as well. But this little boy that I raised, you know, since he was a little boy, 3 days every single week. Because his mother and I wasn't together, but I wasn't going to run away from my responsibilities because the family court and them, I'm not going to call them, wanted to prove that I was a deadbeat. But I say, you know what, Chief? Well, I didn't call myself Chief back then. I called myself King. But I say, you know what, King? Guess what? No matter what they do, don't run away from your son. And I stood and I fight and I fought. And it made me homeless. Because they extorted $20,000 from me. But I still wasn't tempted to go tell my people lies. Even when I got into the whole, you know, we are from Africa thing and the whole Exodus and I want to go to Africa. My ancestors pulled me up. No. Pulled me by the jock strap and broke my foot and say, no, son, this is your land. This is where you belong. And we need you here to tell the truth. Even when I broke my foot for 5 months, I couldn't pay my rent. I reached out to a few people to a GoFundMe. A couple of my brothers said, you know, Chief, I appreciate what you're doing, and they helped out. But I was months and months and months back in rent. But I still wasn't going to lie to my people. And when I came back with the truth. And don't get me wrong, times is still hard. Don't get me wrong, times is still hard. But guess what? I am not going to falter. I am not going to deter from my mission, from telling the truth, family. I am not going to. Like I said, I would rather be homeless in the streets than deceive my people. So if you don't think there are genuine people out there, there are people who are credible. Like I said, don't take my word. Look at my actions. Okay, look at the truth that I'm bringing. All right, don't trust my words. Don't trust me, but look at the information, validate it, and then trust the information. Because I am not here to look for acclamations or trophies. I'm not here to look for that, because I know how great I am. And I don't need nobody to prove that to me. But however, I am going to bring the truth, and judge me by the truth. Like I told people, I am going to contradict myself. If I tell you something that's not complete, I am going to come back and say, family, guess what? You know what? What I told you, it wasn't a lie. It's just that it wasn't complete. There was some information missing, because I am going to contradict myself. I am going to contradict myself, because every day I am growing. Okay? Every day I am growing. And what I know is this: within this stage of my growth, it has been confirmed to me that we were already here, and we have always been here. Israel said, brother, they are going to attack you. It's okay, brother. It's all right. Like I said, all the so-called saviors who came to tell the truth, they were crucified. And I didn't come at my brothers with any animosity. I didn't come at them with any hate. I am just merely asking them, where are their families from? You know, why asking them a question? Why are they abandoning their indigenous ancestry? They could ask me anything as well. Anything. Ask me anything. You see, I don't have anything to hide. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything to hide. Everybody know my story. It's an open book. You feel me? It's an open book. They already know that I was already a dancer. You know, I used to be a stripper. Yes, everybody already know that. The best in New York. And I'm proud of that, because that's what I had to do to feed my son. At least I didn't run away from my son. I stood up to my responsibility. Yes, I got smacked with a few dollar bills on my ass. It is what it is. People already know that. They know that. I got the cover and centerfold for Playgirl. They already know that. You see what I'm saying? So what are they going to pull to attack me with? What? You know, you see, like Eminem in 8 Mile, Eminem already gave them the ammunition. They couldn't come back. They know. Everybody know my story. You feel me? As a matter of fact, I'm writing a book right now on whole transition from how I became a stripper to my transition right now. So it is what it is. But my ancestors told me that, son, we had something greater for you. We had something greater for you. And I listened. And this is where I'm at right now. So again, I am not doing this to have beef with the brothers now. That's not what it is. I am doing that for them to realize that we need to come together and stop it. Stop it, because together in numbers, we have more power. Together in numbers, we will accomplish more. Because with all this division, it's only so much we could accomplish and so much we could do. But when the truth is told, people will wake up. They are in a perfect position. You see what I'm saying? They are in a perfect position to tell the truth, because they have the ears of the public. So why not just tell the truth? I mean, people are not going to look at you and call you a fraud. Just say, family, you know what? For a long time, I really thought we were from Africa. Don't get me wrong. I know we have ancestry from Africa, but I am growing into the truth and finding out that we are indigenous to the Americas. That's all. Do what I did. Don't continue with the lie and the propaganda. It's the same thing like these pastors and these ministers. They know the truth, but because they don't want to let people see them as frauds, they're still perpetuating the Christian and the Judaism and the Islam. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all about making the money. But family, I would rather choose truth over financial gain. And that's just what it is. You know? So again, I'm not instigating any wars. I'm about, you know, coming together. I'm about building. I'm about realizing that we need to build ours first. And family, here's another thing you have to realize is this. We cannot claim our land unless we are who we were when they came. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And once again, my videos are dedicated, okay, to the American Aborigine who has been misclassified as Black, African American, Negro, colored, and earlier American Indian. All right. Israel said, brother, but the European did to them what they did to us. We got to come together on. Oh, of course, family. I am not preaching separation. Again, I am not preaching separation. I am calling on all the Moors. I'm calling on all the Christians. I'm calling on the conscious community. I'm calling on all these different sects, okay, of different denominations or groups or organization. We need to come together and realize that we have one common problem, and that is the oppressor. Whether you call yourself a Moor, a Christian, a Muslim, an Israelite, a conscious person, people, whatever you call yourself, we are facing the same adversary. So at the end of the day, you could be who you want. But first, know that our liberty is, and our freedom lies in who you truly are, being indigenous to the Americas. All right, Africans said, but there are people that are determined not to believe, even if they hear the truth. That's okay. Cognitive dissidence, it's all right. I mean, I am not here to beat the truth into people. For those, you see, we need to stop focusing on people who will not succumb to the truth. We need to focus on those who gravitate onto the truth and then come together. Because if you realize the majority of our people are followers, and mind you, I didn't say everybody, so I don't want everybody coming at me, okay? And that is a fact. The majority of our people are followers. They wait for things to fall into their lap for them to run with it. That's why they wait on television. They wait on the music industry. They wait on everything except coming from within so that they could take it and run with it. So it's easy for propaganda to be placed in their laps and then they will run with it. If 10 years from now, some research is done and somebody said, you know what, they have proof that the African American, the black people in America are from Pluto, 30 years from now, people are going to be talking about, yo, Pluto lives matter. I'm telling you, that's what the majority of our people do. So it's like they gravitate to everything else except who they truly are, because they were taught not to honor who they were. It is that self-hate. And that's why I said we have to love ourselves again. Know who you are. Stop abandoning your indigenous American ancestry. You have to go back to your roots. And that's why they gave you roots, to take you away from your roots and plant you in another continent. You feel me, family? You have to peep what's happening. Everything has been warfare. Everything has been, of course, psychological, financial, emotional, spiritual. Family, we have been through it. Family, I know. That's why those of us who are strong, we got to stand up. We got to stand up and fight for what's ours. You know, we had soul, family. We had soul. We are the soul people. Okay? We are the ones who introduce soul into the world because we're the children of the sun. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about S-O-U-L. No, they change it. I'm talking about the S-O-L, the soul, the solar system. We are that children. And that's what we had first. We had soul. But guess what they did? They say, you know what? These people got too much soul, man. They're influencing the world like they always do. We got to do something. So let's give them disco. So when they give you disco, they disconnected you from your soul. Damn, the chief is hitting them hard. We had soul. You know what I'm saying? Can I get down, huh? 1, kill 2, kill 3. Ah! James Brown, baby. Turn off the lights, light a candle. We had soul, baby. But no, they had to disconnect us and give us disco. And then what came? Crack, cocaine, AIDS, because we got disconnected from our soul. That's what they do, because they know the power of the music. It has always been in us. That's one of the ways we have always influenced the world. Look at hip hop. May I say more? Family, all I could do is just expose you to the truth, man. All I could do is just take you out of the blackness, take you out of the darkness, and expose the light. And at the ending of the day, you do what you want with it. But you could never say that you didn't know. So with that being said, it's 12:55. It's almost 1:11. I got to take some time out to go honor my ancestors. So I got another 5 minutes here to prepare myself for another meditation, and I'm going to leave you guys. I think I may have one more link to put in the description. I'm going to verify that and confirm that. If I do, I will put it. But if you guys have any comments, any suggestions, any questions that you may have, we got about 5-6 minutes to do that. But family, I just want you to know what I do. Again, I don't do it to create separation. As a matter of fact, I am identifying the separation. Therefore, if we are aware that it's a separation, then we will come together. You see, all the so-called Moors and the so-called Israelites and the so-called Hebrews and the so-called Christians and the so-called Islam and Muslims, all those people that are indigenous to the Americas, it is basically the different branches, but the root is the American continent. And all I'm just telling to all the branches, all I'm just asking them is, let's honor the roots, because without the roots, we couldn't have the branches. It's as simple as that. Because what gravitated everybody else in the world to come to us is because of our roots, because of our culture, because of our frequency. That's what gravitated them to us. And it has always been that way. It has always been that way. And a lot of you guys, that's right, of course, MJ was a king. And a lot of you guys, right? A lot of you guys that know that music, today's music is a detriment to our people, you still support it because you allow your children to listen to it. You allow your children to buy it. You see, so who are to blame? We have to take responsibility. At some point, we have to start taking responsibility. We cannot afford to always cast our issues and problems on somebody else and not take responsibility. Family, that is the mind of minors and children, always blaming somebody else. And that's why they call you minors. That because they think you cannot handle your affairs. They don't think you are grown enough. But I am here to tell you, you are grown enough. And I'm not here to criticize our people. My goal and my mission is to show you how great you are, because we have always been great. Donald Trump talking about let's make America great again. What you mean? America has always been great. As a matter of fact, y'all came and took away our greatness. And when people say America, they need to know that the United States of America is not America. The United States of America is a country in America. America is a continent. It was already great. It has always been great. And we are the ones who came and manifest its greatness because it has always been great. We are the indigenous people, the American Aborigines. So know who you are, all right? Know who you are. I woke up today. I mean, I was hungry. So I prepared some broccoli and some spinach. You know, I just mixed that up real quick. And that's all I had because I knew I was going to go in and I needed my energy. But family, you know, I just want you guys to know, man, you know, I mean no harm. You know, I'm just here to, you know, to seek the truth. If these brothers have information that they feel may be pertinent to the growth or to dispute what I'm saying, by all means, you know, let's have a discussion. I don't do debates. I talk to my brothers. I don't want to fight them. The etymology and the root of the word debate is a low vibrational word. So I don't want to create any type of animosity. You know, if they want to hate me for speaking the truth, then it's okay. It's all right, because you know what? A lot of times it's the people who look like us that's going to take us down. And that has been proven in history. So I'm not worried about it. You see, now I am free. I am free. So whenever this physical body go, I am cool with it because I did my job. Okay, I did what I was called for, but I know I have a lot more work to do. So my ancestors got my back. And any man who come against me, come against my ancestors. And they don't want to mess with them. No. You harm me, I promise you. I guarantee you that you and your descendants will pay the price. Because my ancestors, I'm going to put it in their hands. So I'm not even worried about that. That's why I told you, I ain't scared of no man. I'm not a gangster, but I know I'm a spiritual warrior. So all I'm going to do is just put it in my ancestors' hands and let them deal with it. Yes, take the physical body. But when we get up there, trust me, we coming for yours and your descendants. Believe that. So that's all I got to say. So My ultimate goal is about peace and love amongst my brothers. Stop with the lies, okay? Because this is our land, and you know that. It's not like as if you don't know. You know the truth, but because it doesn't pay, then you are not promoting it. And that's a disjustice. It's dishonor to the people. So let's keep it real. Absolutely, Omar. I appreciate that, brother. High frequency. You're a good man. There's a lot of light in you. Well, family, you know what? Like I said, I used to be in the dark. And I asked my ancestors to bring me out of the dark. I didn't want to be in the blackness no more. Bring me to the light. And they told me, son, your light will shine when you tell the truth. And that's all I'm just giving you is my heart. I'm giving you the truth, So it is what it is. I have nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, so any one of them, we could have a conversation and they may ask me certain things I don't know. I will say I don't know. You see, I can't deal with the ego. If I don't know, I just don't know. But however, if you give me some information, I will research it. And then after I research it, I will in search for solidification. And that's what I always do with my information. I don't just believe what people tell me. Okay, I take the information, I research it, okay, and then I meditate on it and ask my ancestors to show me the validation of the truth in that. And that's what I do. That's just my own way of doing things. Everybody got their own way. All right, I don't go read a million of books and memorize those books and come to you like I'm a great scholar looking for people. Oh, he's smart. Oh, that's my teacher. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to bring you the truth. And family, I suggest you guys start doing a lot more reading. Go past, go past the rabbit hole, because the rabbit hole is really deep. It's deep. And for you to do that, you have to go into the archives. You have to go look for information. All right. So, and that's another reason why, like I said, I know you guys work and I know you guys don't have a lot of time and a lot of people don't have the patience and energy to do it. I'm going to keep it real. And that's why another reason I asked you guys to support my GoFundMe, because that's all I do. And that's all I want to do is to research and in search and then bring the truth. You know what I mean? And that's why, again, I ask you for, this is my livelihood. This is what I love to do. I'm a researcher. I'm a truth seeker. Therefore, I'm a truth bringer. And I am not saying that I'm supposed to get paid for that. I'm not saying that. I do it because I love you. However, it would be nice to show some appreciation for the hard work that I'm putting in. Because again, everything that I research, sometimes I buy books and all these different things and I print and I do all this stuff. It costs, family. It costs. And sometimes it's really tough because certain things I want to do, I can't do it, because of, the financial challenges. But I'm not worried about it though. I know that my ancestors got my back and I'm going to be all right, But of course, it would always be good and nice if my family, could show a little support and, just donate. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Please research the information, so you could see it for yourself and know I'm not just talking. All right. And to all the brothers that I mentioned, let me call their names again. Brother Polite, Brother Pharaoh, Brother Umar Johnson, Brother Seti, Brother Sinetta, the brother, the real Makiba, Brother RFG, the guys that run Black News 102, which is Sinetta, I think, the guys who run Black Magic 363, and Dr. Boyce Watson. Listen, I have no problems with you guys. This wasn't an attack, okay? It is just a plea, okay, and a reach out to start telling some of the truth. Our people are not going to be mad at you. As a matter of fact, they will appreciate you more. They will love you more. As a matter of fact, I promise you, if you start telling the truth, you wouldn't have to beg them to support you because they will support you. So don't continue to, I'm not going to say tell them the lies, but don't continue to tell them the incomplete truth. Let's put it that way, because it is a fact. Hey, Shelly, what's up, sis? It is a fact that we do have some African ancestry, but we were already here in the Americas. Our people have always been here. And all I'm just asking is just please tell them the truth. That's all. This wasn't a call for a war or a debate or any type of confrontation. If I see you in the street, I would like to give you a handshake or a hug as my brother and say I love you. So it has nothing to do with that. It's a matter of just, you know what, let us start honoring our indigenous ancestors of the Americas. Tell the people the truth. Tell them that they are indigenous, because it is true. It's not a lie. It is true. So tell them the truth, or the complete truth, so to speak. Don't just take them out of their land, because the agenda is to take them out of their land and put them in Africa to make them homeless, because you know they are not from Africa. Because if they were, Africa would have already came and got their people, just like how Morocco came and signed a treaty to protect their Moor citizens that were here. So family, I could only bring the facts to you. You're not African. Yes, you do have African ancestry, but you're not African. And it's going to take a time. Like, you see how it took time for a lot of you to get out of Christianity? It's going to take that much time, if not more, for you to get out of that I am from Africa thing, because that's all you have known. I get it. I'm not mad at you. And because I'm not mad at you, that's why I do what I do. All right. So once again, I thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And oh, of course, research is real, Jazzy. We got to do it. We can't just depend on the news. Remember, the media is owned by the oppressors. Okay? They give you what they want you to know. So why do you think they'll give you the truth? You think if I invaded your land, I'm going to plaster it all over the TV, and in reality shows in the newspaper, hey, guess what? This is not our land. We took it from them. Oh, no, they're not from Africa. They are really indigenous. Do you really think I'm going to tell you that if I stole your land? Like, seriously, family. Let's be real. Let's be real. Okay? Let's be real. And if I could pay people to tell you that look like you that you are not from here, why not? Because the entire world is looking at America. So, of course, if I could spend a couple $1 million, in other words, let me give the Black Lives Matter $1 million or $1.5 million to keep you lost and disenfranchised, why not? Because I'm making trillions. Come on, family, peep the game. Jazzy, Black Magic 363 did touch on this a bit with the show they did on Columbus. He interviewed Black Native Americans. All right, good. And like I said, you know, I wasn't accusing them of saying that they don't. I was just saying they need to talk about it more, you know, and get away from calling us Black. And we are not natives. Okay, we are the Aborigines. We are the indigenous ones that who were already here. The native came later. All right, the natives were born, people who came and were born in the land from parents. All right, but the indigenous Aborigines were people that have always been here. All right, so I appreciate that, Jazzy. Thanks for that that note. And again, it's not here to accuse anybody of anything. All right. So family, I hate to leave you guys, man. All right, but you know, I gotta go because yes, we need more truth. Absolutely, we need more truth. And I always told myself that, you know, when I started doing YouTube videos, it would always stand on the truth. And sometimes the truth that I brought, you know, it needed some improvement. It needed some building, and I knew it. You know, so when I came into more updated truth, I told people, hey, you know what? I was wrong. Or not that I was wrong, but this was incomplete. And that's something I see a lot of those guys don't do. They would rather continue the perpetual cycle of lies just because they don't want to be looked upon as a fraud. But my family, my brothers, our people won't look at you as frauds. We get it. We know that it's what pays right now. You know, our people are very forgiving people. They will forgive you. And they will. Trust me, they will. Because if you look at the history of every one of our people who have disappointed them, every one of our people who have lied to them, okay, misled them, guess what? We welcome them back because that's what we do. You see, the American continent, that's what we do. We love our people. Okay? So they will forgive you. They will forgive you for not telling the complete truth. But just for once, tell them the truth, man. Tell them, think of a way. Go to the ancestors, ask them to guide you on how to bring the truth. And ask the people to forgive you. And they will. I know they will. Because we are a loving people. And we need all our people to unite and come together. I am not about preaching separation. All right? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy your day. Keep on researching, family. Talk to your families, like I said, your grandmother. And oh, one more thing before I go. Here's another Here's another way, and I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Here's another way you could start tracing your tribe. If you don't know where your tribes are, who they are, find out where your grandmother was from, your great-grandmother was from. And in that particular area, okay, what you do is you do a Google search for extinct tribes in that area before colonization. Then some tribes will come up. Then here's another search you could do. Indians in that area before colonization. And then some more names will come up. And then something may ring a bell. Oh, damn, I heard mama told me I'm from the Achinanana tribe. I'm just saying. And those things will start ringing bells. But you see, one thing about seeking the truth, once you start seeking, more information will find. That is just one of the laws of the universe. Those who seek will find. Those who knock, the door will be open. But information is not going to fall on your lap if you're not seeking. So seek and ye shall find. And seek in truth. Okay? Seek in truth. And I promise you, you will find. Speak to your ancestors and just listen. Be tentative. Listen. They will speak to you. You will hear their voice. I'm telling you, it is for real. All right? So once again, you guys take care. Thanks to everybody, man, that's tuned in. I'm going to give a quick shout out. I know it's a lot to give, but I know Israel, just going to give a few people some shout outs. You know what I mean? Israel, we have High Frequency. Who else we have? We have Joyce Robertson. Who else we have? Just want to give everybody, if I miss anybody, forgive me. We have Tom Washington. Please forgive me if I do. We have that. We have Nighthawk. All right. We have Ahaba Shiloh. All right. I have to take my time with that one. Peace and love, sis. I got your email and I responded. Jazzy, peace and love. Who else we have? I think that's it. John Dean. I respect you, family. If you're African, more power to you. I respect that. I think that's it. Israel, I said that already. We got that. Pretty much everybody. Shelly, peace and love. All right. One love. So family, I'm out. Just wanted to give a courtesy shout out to everybody that's on the live feed. And family, again, don't be ashamed of who you are. Just know that your power and your true freedom lies in who you truly are. Your birthright. It was taken. It was stolen. And now you have to reclaim it. And once again, my disclaimer, I am speaking and reaching out to the American Aborigines. I am not talking to United States citizens. Okay, if you're a United States citizen, that may not be for you. But however, if you are an American Aborigine, meaning that you were here before the conquerors came, the invaders came, and you are now being called African American, Black, Negro, colored, then I am speaking to you are the American Aborigine, and I'm speaking to my family. All right. And I'm not just talking about here in the Americas. I'm talking about all of the Americas, not just the United States. The United States is just a country in America. I'm talking about Mexico. I'm talking about Puerto Rico. I'm talking about Canada. I'm talking about the entire Caribbean, Venezuela, Panama, Cuba. Even Cuba is in the Americas. So all my so-called Spanish brothers, just know that you are the Tainos. Some of us are Arawaks. Some of us are Caribs. Okay, even some of the Garifuna, all that's indigenous to the Americas. You know, a mix of the Caribs, okay, with some of the African brothers and sisters. So family, just know who we are, man, and all the tribes that are here on the mainland. All right. So just know that the American continent is a big continent, and we are all one people. All the people you're calling Mexicans, they are our brothers and sisters. Puerto Rico, those are our brothers and sisters. So we are one family. Let us stop allowing them to divide and conquer us. That's the only way we're gonna be able to rise back as an empire, is when we unite as one. And to my brothers again, I mention your name out of love, asking you to come out and tell the truth. All right. So with that being said, I'm out. Peace and love. All right. I'm not going to do any more videos for the day because I'm tired, at least not live. If I do anything, I might edit something and put it up. But that took a lot of energy out of me, for real. All right. So family, love you guys. Please support the GoFundMe. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and may the ancestors continue to open up your eyes, and the great spirit that our ancestors worshipped. I ask that they all just be with you and guide you and protect you along the way. All right. Our children need the truth. Our children need to know who they are, and let us stop telling them the lies, whether it may be intentional or unintentional. But they need to know who they truly are. We cannot afford to let them just be a color or just be African American. All right? Peace.